think I'm live. Let's see. It says it's starting. Yep, it says it's starting. Okay, we are live. Awesome. Hi, guys. So, I just got a really good question from one of our lovely audience members about sight reading. And I realized, oh my gosh, this is something that people ask about a lot, actually. So I'm going to talk today about three things you need in order to get better at sight reading. So if you're feeling like, when you read a new piece of music in band or a new piece of music that you like pick out for yourself to practice, or when you're like assigned lesson music and you're having a really hard time playing it, um, your sight reading skills can help you so much here. It is possible to sight read so well that you don't have to practice. For example, when you play in a professional ensemble, you often get handed music the day of and don't have time to practice it. So you have to be really great at sight reading in order to play it super well because you can't be like messing up and making lots of mistakes when you're professional. So it is really possible, but I'm going to talk today about the three things you need. So, the first thing you need to get better at sight reading is a really good understanding of timing. So, time signatures like 6/8, 3/4, 4/4, cut time, all of those sorts of things, even weird ones like 7/8 and stuff. A really good understanding of what a time signature is, how we subdivide the beat, and how the rhythm of the music that's there fits into that time signature. So, time signatures sort of group our music into different feelings. For example, like 6/8 time groups it into like two groups of three. So, bum, 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 bum. Every time signature is going to have its own feel. 3/4 is supposed to feel like a waltz, like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So every time signature has a feeling, and the rhythms that you see written out fit into that feeling. And knowing what that feeling is, having a really good concept of how we subdivide the beat, is just going to make it so much easier to read the music. So that's the first thing, is timing. Um, the second thing would be scales. Feeling really, really confident about all of your major and minor scales, being able to play them, 1 octave, 2 octave, if you're already really good at 2 octave, at different speeds, different intervals, chords that make up scales. I'm talking about the arpeggios. Feeling really familiar with all of those things is going to give your fingers the bandwidth to be able to play whatever music you get in front of you. So that's why we practice scales. So that's the second thing. The third thing, this is the juicy one, this is the one that is the most helpful, is ear training. And what I mean by that is ear training in relation to sight reading is being able to hear what the music sounds like inside your head. So when you're just, I'm trying to see if I have music, but when you're just looking at a piece of sheet music, being good with ear training, getting comfortable with ear training, is going to make it possible for you to read the music and hum it in your head or out loud. But a lot of times when I talk about ear training, people get kind of like a little scared because they think that they have to like start singing their music and everything. But you don't have to start singing out loud. You just need to be able to hear it in your head. And if you can hear what it sounds like in your head, you can play it more confidently. And when you're just reading music in the moment, like in a sight reading situation, like you don't have time to like practice it for 20 minutes to get a sense of how it sounds, right? So if you're somebody that needs to play the music a lot or just several times before you have a sense of like what it sounds like, then you probably could work on your ear training a little bit to basically just learn things faster, learn how it sounds faster. Because if you know how it sounds, you can play it. If you have all of the fingerings from practicing your scales a lot, you can play it. if you know the rhythm and the time signatures and all of that, you can play it. So those are the three things you need to be better at sight reading. Okay, Jonathan, hello. Oh, nice. Okay, so Jonathan's that's really good. Good advice for like finding a lot of music to practice. Steady tempo. Yep, that's another thing. So when I'm talking about rhythm, being able to subdivide the beat, have a good understanding of how that time signature feels, helps you have a steady beat. So, oh, good morning, Judy. It's nice to see you on here. Um, by the way, anyone who's watching, let me know if you have questions about sight reading. So I'm just going to sort of recap what I was talking about. Now that we have some community action, I love when we have people come on our lives. Um, it means we're both on Facebook at the same time. So to get better at sight reading, there are three things you need to feel confident about. So I talked about these already, but here they are again. The first thing is rhythms. So rhythm, time signature, steady beat. Thank you for that, Jonathan. Feeling comfortable chanting out the rhythms without relying on a metronome or without relying on a conductor. Like you want to be able to have that steady beat sort of ingrained in you without having to rely on an external source. It's all basically in your head. Like I was talking about ear training, I was talking about scales, knowing the fingerings, I was talking about timing. All of those skills, you basically want to practice them so that they're muscles that you can sort of flex while you're playing. So, being able to feel the steady beat, you want to be able to just basically do what I did and be able to chant 6/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And apply that to your playing. You want to have all the fingerings and all the different combos of fingerings for all of your scales at different speeds so that you can pull from them in your sight reading. You want to be able to read music on a sheet of paper and sing it in your head so that you can play it confidently. You want those three things to work together to make you really confident sight reading. And this is actually why in Woodwind Academy we have different units that focus on all these things. So if you have been around here for a while, you've seen us talk about practice strategies, music theory, and ear training / improvisation. Literally all of those things cover the three things you need to get better at sight reading. So, for example, rhythms, timing. That is a music theory topic. We teach you all about time signatures, how they're built, how to chant rhythms inside Woodwind Academy. Your scales. We help you create a personalized practice plan to get better at scales and get better at technique. And we work with you one-on-one to sort of like help you with whatever goals you have with your scales in particular. Like, for example, if you know all of your 2-octave scales really well and you want to get better at sight reading, we will create a new challenging, not too challenging, but a little bit challenging scale routine for you to just push the envelope a little bit further to get you even closer to your goals, whatever those goals are. So we do that with you. And also, ear training. Improvisation is our way of teaching ear training. And I'm so excited about this. I love watching Anna's. She basically recorded the whole improvisation unit because she's our resident like improv expert with perfect pitch and all of that. So I have learned so much from her. It's basically like if you weren't somebody that did choir as a kid, or you're like worried that you're tone deaf or something, or you look at the music and you're just like really confused about what it's supposed to sound like, the improvisation is basically like a fun hack to get better at that really fast. So, sorry, my partner's like on a call too, so I can hear him. So like in the improvisation unit, for example, one of the songs we do is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So somewhere over the rainbow, basically that. So we have the sheet music written out for each instrument in C major, It's very playable. If you are a beginner or intermediate player, you can definitely play it. And then we teach you how to improvise with it. So when you start to improvise with a simple tune like that, you really develop your ear training skills and you really start to like pay close attention to what it sounds like. And as a result, you build that muscle of knowing what your music sounds like. And you have fun in the process. So basically, improvisation is our way of teaching ear training to get better at sight reading. Aw, Judy, thank you. I'm glad it sounds fantastic. Um, yeah, so I think one of the reasons that we in the first place created Woodman Academy, in particular why we put improvisation as a part of it, is because Anna and I had to learn sight reading the boring way. We had to take oral training classes in college every semester for like years, where we were conducting in 7/4 time while we were singing like the Harry Potter tune with solfege. So it was like do, le, mi, ta, like things like that. And it just was so confusing. We were having to sight read in alto clef, like all of this crazy stuff. And honestly, when I was in college doing it, I felt like I was so bad at it. Um, and honestly, even though I did all of those classes, I'm not somebody who has perfect pitch. I didn't really get so confident about feeling time signatures, knowing what the music sounds like, feeling really confident sight reading anything until I took a step back and started to improvise and listen to what I was playing and listen to the creative things that Anna was teaching me to put into the music. That's when I really started to understand and be able to honestly sing in all of the lessons. Like if you ever take a lesson with me, if you have taken a lesson with me, you know I often sing instead of take out my flute. I will still take out my flute and demonstrate, but like I've been like singing some crazy stuff in like etude books and stuff. I'm like, let's just sing it. You don't have to sing it on solfege, but it's because I that muscle is it's such a reflex for me now. I've done it so much, and you can do it too. All you have to do is start playing around with your music, being creative, listening, building those improvisation skills, building those rhythm skills, building those muscles with your scales. So anyway, if all of this is sounding like something you need more help with, Woodman Academy is probably the place for you to be because we have classes on improvisation. We have classes on rhythm. We have classes on scales. We have group lessons every month where we work with you individually to develop a personalized practice routine. So we have 6 flutes in Woodman Academy right now. If you're watching, hello, Woodman Academy flutes. And here's how it works. We have like a library of trainings on all of those things I was just talking about. But in addition, I meet with the flutes every month to work through their personal practice goals. So we basically have 3 people in a group lesson. Each person gets 20 minutes of time to talk with me, play for me. You can send me music or just show me in the screen. I'll take a screenshot of it. And I help you with it. I help you with whatever you're needing help with. We check in about how your practicing is going. We check in about how your scales practice, your rhythm practice is going. We talk about any questions you have from the videos. And then I give you homework to do. I give you a little bit of motivational practice that you can try to move further along with your goals, and then we meet the next month to check in again. You can play for me again. And the reason we structure it that way is because you need that one-on-one support. You need a teacher to look at you and tell you, hey, I know you're having trouble playing high notes. It turns out you're playing like this and you're super rolled in, and that's why you're having trouble with high notes. You need a teacher to look at your hand position and tell you, oh, it looks like your flute is really tilted, which is why you're having pain in your neck. You need a teacher to listen to you play and say, hey, it sounds like you're wasting a lot of air. So you need to change your embouchure shape in this way to conserve your air better so that you can play longer phrases. Ultimately, you need that one-on-one support. Playing a musical instrument is so individualized, even though we have like so many trainings out there, so many like courses where you can just like learn to play a couple of tunes. There are free YouTube videos on like how to put your saxophone together. There are like music books that show you at the beginning like how to put the instrument together, how to hold it, what all of the fingerings are, how to chant rhythms. It tells you all that stuff. But even though there are all those resources out there, playing an instrument is a really complicated thing. And if you don't get that one-on-one help, you might start practicing stuff wrong. So, this is why we have Woodwind Academy the way it is. Private lessons are very expensive. Like, I don't know what the average rate is, but Anna and I, like, $100 for each private lesson. That is what we charge. So, $100 once a week for an entire month, that's $400. So, Woodwind Academy offers, it's a way of offering that exact same support, but packaged in a different way so that one, it saves you money because Woodwind Academy is $97 a month versus $400. And it's self-paced. So when it comes to private lessons, you have to like show up every week, work with your teacher every week, and it's only you, and you only get that lesson time. Like if you're feeling tired, if you don't have time that day, if you forgot to practice that week because something came up in your personal life, doesn't matter. That's your hour. You have that hour. But for Woodwind Academy, we have this gigantic library of trainings on rhythms, scales, technique, tonguing, ear training, all of that stuff, so that if something comes up in your life and you don't practice for a week, it's okay. You can work at your own pace. And we meet once a month still to have that one-on-one time, to keep you accountable towards your goals, to still have the individual support, to still be able to help you. But it's just like so much cheaper. So yeah, it's really fun. And also it's really fun to be able to work with a community like that. Like I love our Woodwind Academy flutes. I look forward to seeing them every month. Um, it's a great community. Everyone's super supportive of one another. We have people who are retired. We have people who are still working. We have people who have only been playing flute for like a couple of years. We have people who played flute in high school and now like 40, 50 years later they're playing again and just wanting to like improve on the skills that they built up before. So it's like we have all those different experiences in Woodwind Academy, but ultimately we're all there to make music. We're all there to feel more confident with our playing, and we're all there to support each other. And if there ever is anyone in Woodwind Academy who, violates the community standards and is super mean, we obviously will address it. It hasn't happened yet. It has happened in our Facebook group. We have had to remove individuals who were bullying others and stuff, but like, I think it's just sort of like when you talk to us, if you're a mean person, you may not be interested. So I know Anna will laugh at that later. So anyway, it's a really supportive environment. And Anna and I were like, we were talking about Woodwind Academy last night. We were like, because we have a launch coming up next month where we're opening enrollment again. So we always like to touch base and just talk about how things are going. And it turns out everyone who's joined the program has stayed. Nobody has emailed us and said, hey, I'm not learning anything. I would like to discontinue. That has literally never happened. We have had people leave because they got an injury or something came up with their family or whatever. Things happen. We're understanding of that. But nobody has left Woodwind Academy because they weren't learning. In fact, most of the people who have joined Woodwind Academy stay in it for that full year and then don't join again because they learned so much. They get all of those problems that they've been experiencing for years and years and years, they get fixed, and then they don't need support anymore. They don't need lessons. They don't need help with Woodwind Academy. Like, it's a one and done situation, which is another cost saving thing. So here's another thought. So comparing Woodwind Academy to private lessons, when you are taking weekly private lessons, so like one private lesson a week, let's say that's 4 hours per month. Think about how much time is taken up in those lessons to talk about all of these different topics I've talked about today: rhythm, time signatures, developing sight singing skills, practicing your scales, learning all of the fingerings for super high notes and low notes, fixing embouchure, fixing posture, fixing breathing, all of that kind of stuff. You have to fit everything into those 4 private lessons. In Woodwind Academy, we have trainings for adult learners at your level on all of those topics that we've made specifically for you guys based off of your feedback. When we first made the academy, we surveyed hundreds of adult, intermediate, advanced, beginner players, and found out what they need help with most. And we found out in what format was most helpful for learning, because teaching an adult is way different than teaching like a 5-year-old how to play flute. So we made these trainings specifically for you, and there are hours and hours and hours of trainings. So you can watch all of that and get a lot more for $97 than you can get for $400 for 4 private lessons where you're not getting any support outside of the lessons. Literally, Woodwind Academy, you will attend a group lesson for like an hour or two, depending on how many you want to come to. You come to all of them. You will attend a masterclass. So we just, September's masterclass was on having an effective practice routine. Last month's masterclass was on circle of fifths and intervals and just minor scales, figuring out what key your music is in. So you get that every month, and you can email us questions. So there's really a lot of support that happens in addition to the videos, in addition to the group lessons, in addition to the masterclass, all of that. So it's honestly awesome. Yeah, I could talk about Woodwind Academy forever. I literally like journaled about Woodwind Academy last night, and then I was like too excited to sleep, and I did not sleep very well because I was just like thinking about Woodwind Academy, and now I'm talking about Woodwind Academy. So yeah, I love Woodwind Academy, and we are going to be opening up enrollment in October. We have some free classes coming up, October 9th, 10th, and 11th. Oh, Jonathan, thank you for asking. I'll leave them in the chat actually. So free classes happening on October 9th, 10th, and 11th. I'll post the link below too. And basically those live sessions, those free classes are meant to be a preview of Woodwind Academy. So you're going to get what I talked about today, but like a little bit more in depth to sort of like explore what Woodwind Academy is like, to explore like all the things you need to know to get better at sight reading, to get a better tone, to get better technique. And then, you know, like we always do after a big free class like this, we're going to have like a big Woodwind Academy sale. So if you're thinking about maybe you're needing help with sight reading, maybe you're needing that one-on-one support, maybe you've been feeling like you might be ready for private lessons, but it's just a little bit expensive, or you're not sure how to find the right teacher, Woodwind Academy is a great thing to consider. So that's when we're going to be opening up enrollment. After those free classes, you can get a taste of it at the free class. You can take advantage of our epic discount that we do right after the classes. But if this sounds really cool to you and you're already really excited about the idea of Woodwind Academy after listening to this, you can always send me a DM. Sorry, I was like, oh, if you're ready for support, if you're ready to get better at rhythm, if you're ready to get better at sight reading, if you're ready to improve your tone, if you want in, just send me a DM, send me a message, send us an email. I'll put our email here. It's hello@virtualwoodwinds.com. You can just reply to one of our emails that we send out, to our email list if you're on that. And just let us know if you want to join. We're happy to have more flute players, more sax players, more clarinet players. We also have oboes. Our oboe faculty member Casey does an oboe group lesson every month where she talks about reeds, oboe specific fingerings, oboe repair. She's actually making her own oboe repair course right now. So she's like a super awesome resource for like if your oboe breaks and you're like, oh, I don't want to pay $500 to send this to California and fix it. Like, we have like the best person on our faculty. So, yeah, all of that is available to you. If you have any questions, if you're interested, if you already want to hop in on the discount right now and not wait until October, just let me know. You can comment, you can email, you can send me a DM. That's about it. Okay, well, thank you for watching this live. What time are your monthly live sessions usually? Oh, okay. So Jonathan, are you asking about group lessons and okay, you're probably asking about group lessons and the monthly master classes. So what we do for that is we email everybody and ask about availability. So we will not teach a group lesson, at least I won't. Like, I will not teach you a group lesson if you can't come. So if you can't come to the time, we'll find a different time. Yeah, so basically they vary from month to month and it's all based off of your schedule. So if you have a trip coming up, if you work and aren't available until like 5 or 6 p.m., that's fine. We work with you. We have people that have all different kinds of schedules, and it's why we do like mini group lessons so that we can sort of pair people up that have similar schedules. But yeah, it varies from month to month, so we make it work for you. I actually just sent an email out. Well, not just, but like, last week we were doing September flute group lesson scheduling. I sent an email out to all the flutes. I was like, here are some days I'm thinking of. What are your availabilities on those days? And then everyone wrote back with their availability. I grouped people up into 2 different group lessons, emailed them about the time, and everybody can make it. So it worked out. If you can't make it, just let me know, because the whole point of Woodwind Academy is to be able to work with you individually in addition to you having all of those videos for support. So we cater it to your schedule, basically. We also record everything. So if you came but you want to watch it again, you have the recording. If you couldn't come and you were like, Amanda, don't reschedule me, I don't want to inconvenience you, whatever, I'll still be like, it's fine, let's reschedule. But if you're insistent on that, I can still record it and give it to you. So yeah, it really just, we cater to your needs. We work with you. We absolutely love helping you. We love seeing you every month. So yeah, it's a really fun time. So anyway, I'm so touched by all of you who came. I'm going to wrap it up there, but if you have any other questions, just drop them in the chat or send us an email. I'm going to leave our email address down here so that you can reach out if you want to sign up for Woodwind Academy early with an epic discount that we're only going to offer after the class. Just let me know. Okay, and have a great Friday, everybody. Bye.